Hi, this is Odeean. Today I'm having a look at DX Mechagodzilla from the movie Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 2002. Here you can see the box, and I just show this so that if you're trying to buy one of these you can get an idea of what it comes in. There's another version of this guy from Tokyo SOS which came out in 2003-2004. His weapon pack is a bit different, but from what I gather the actual body is exactly the same. So anyway, this is the version 2002. Pretty standard kind of box, nice and sturdy and easily removable without wrecking the box. So I'm going to keep this one. Okay, putting the box aside. Here we have Godzilla, or Mechagodzilla, aka Kiryu himself. So the reason I bought this figure is because this is one of the biggest Mechagodzilla figures. I like the 12-inch scale. This is a 12-inch figure. There are tons of Mechagodzilla figures, including another 12-inch from the Final Wars series that was available even in the US. But for my money, this design of Mechagodzilla is the superior look, and I really like the way he looks. I paid quite a bit to get it because it's an old toy, you can imagine, but I'm not dissatisfied in any way. I'm really glad to have it. So while I'm talking about scale, here he is next to the Tokyo SOS 11 or 12-inch Godzilla that I showed a couple of weeks ago, and you can see he's just a tiny bit taller. So this guy's about 11 point something. This one is pretty much 12 inches. These go really well together. I would say that they're companion pieces, except for the fact that they never appear in the movie together with this same armor. So except for the armor, they're a companion piece, and for me they go really well together. If I could get a big Godzilla like this without the scar, I would, but for now these two are on display together on my shelf. Now the articulation on this guy is pretty good, especially considering who he's being compared to, like other Godzilla figures. On the knee here we've got a ratchet. This leg stays. It's only got one notch. On the other side, it sort of springs back. I think it's a defect, or maybe the rubber inside is just not allowing it to hold its position. But anyway, it's good enough for posing. We've got in and out at the hips like this, as well as back to front. On the shoulders, we have 360 degrees rotation, although the armor does hamper it a bit. There's no in and out on the shoulder, but we do have a bicep movement here. It's less than 90, but it's good enough for me. We have a rotation at the wrist, like this. No finger movements, no head posability of any kind, and no waist joint of any kind. On the tail actually comes as a separate part that snaps on right here. You can see this seam is where it locks on. I might be able to pop it off, but I think it's designed to snap on once and stay on. So on the tail we've got ball joints in a number of the segments, which are really nice, until you get to this last one, another part that you have to snap on out of the box. This is just a solid piece of plastic or vinyl, and doesn't pose individually on these segments, but it does fit. It looks nice. If you get the gaps lining up, you can see that it looks like it belongs. So standing him back here to get a look at his profile, you can see his tail isn't really as long as a Godzilla tail. Godzilla kind of has a longer tail in proportion, but that fits with the character design. Okay, now's a good time to take a look at some of the noise features. This guy is electronic, hence the DX. In the back here you have a battery compartment and this little on-off switch. So the first time you turn the switch on, you'll hear this power-up noise. Then after that, depending on how you've got him configured, like how he's I think the stance and the backpack and the tail are altering the sound in some way. he'll make different noises. So, alright, he's got the backpack on, he should make a shooting noise if I push the second button now. Okay, didn't work. Let's try again. Kiryu! Kiryu! No! I love that stomping sound. That's my favourite of the sounds. But he wasn't really supposed to make it at that time. So maybe if I hold him in a flying pose and push the button, he'll make a flying noise for me. There we go. See, I pushed the backpack on. It sort of makes that connection noise. I think it'll make a shooting noise if I push it now. No. Hold it on a bit tighter. There we go. If the backpack is properly engaged, you get this sort of maser or laser or whatever shooting noise. It's supposed to be coming out of the sides here. Finally, if we open this chest to reveal his absolute zero cannon, I think that noise button will produce a separate sound for this. There we go, the absolute zero cannon. I think that's what it's called. And I don't know if you can see this. There's put in a bit of shadow here. There's a light in there as well. Not very bright. Not really impressive. But kind of actually in his mouth. Hang on, if I turn him like this, take that off. It's got light up eyes and light up mouth as well. But again, not really too impressive. They're pretty dim. Alright, so we've got the backpack off. Maybe we'll have a closer look. It's pretty sturdy. It's nicely made. The two different coloured plastics. I don't think it's painted, just separate pieces of plastic are moulded in different colours. I picked this one for two reasons, because this is the easiest one for me to get, and also I preferred this weapons pack. On the later version of this from Tokyo SOS, he doesn't have the absolute zero cannon, he's got the triple maser, and the backpack isn't blue and rectangular, it's more of a hexagonal prism, hexagonal tube, and I didn't like the look of it as much. I'd still like to get one at some time, but this was the one that really satisfied me. Okay, apart from that, on his forearms here, you can see his little dagger. In the movie this is retractable, but the toy itself, it's not retractable, but it can come off. So we can just disengage it like this, and it's a squishy, flexible vinyl piece, so it's not likely to break. I like them on, I don't want to take them off, so I'm going to put that back on for the rest of the review. One little piece, what's that? One little piece that does come off that you have to put back on when the backpack comes off is this. So this is his central spine spike, or what do you want to call it, scale or something, that goes up there just to finish his look. It doesn't fit when the backpack is over the top of it. In the instructions it shows that you should take off all of these sort of squishy vinyl spines on the back to put the backpack on, but I found that in the gap here, if you put it on carefully, none of the spikes actually touch except for that little last one. This also pops off. Some minor assembly when you first buy it. His little head fin is just a squishy vinyl, so it doesn't break. Have a look in this mouth. It's a bit hard to see. If you can see there, he's got his real skeleton teeth from Kiryu, because don't forget, Mechagodzilla isn't just a robot. He's built on the skeleton of a dead kaiju. Looking closely at this section in here, you can see this is a soft rubbery sheet built over his articulated skeleton, which the skeleton part does the posing. This rubber stuff just covers it up. It's got some nice veiny kind of strands on it, some detail. Gives it a nice sense of scale. That's pretty much almost it. I think I'll just show one more scale shot for those of you who don't have other Godzilla figures and would like something a bit more standard for scale. So here he is again next to trusty old Taiwanese Lionbot. A little bit taller, I think, from my perspective anyway. Just a fraction taller than the head of this. So he's a big figure. And pretty much the best, as far as I'm concerned, Mechagodzilla figure, with one exception. I've seen an X Plus Mechagodzilla that looks almost exactly the same as this, except it's a tiny bit taller. Maybe the quality is a bit bigger. I haven't had it in person. I've seen it floating around the internet. Seems to be really, really expensive. If I ever have an opportunity to get that, I will. But with the degree of satisfaction I feel for this guy, I don't think that I have a kind of... I don't think I have a need to pick up that X Plus one at an exorbitant price. It fills my Mechagodzilla gap. At some time I might pick up the Final Wars 12-inch Mechagodzilla, but from what I see, I'm not liking it as much as this guy, so it would have to be on a good price. The price I paid for this was, with shipping, $220. I know that seems a lot, but with this, the amount of joy I have with this figure, I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even thinking about that $220. I'm so thrilled to have this. I'm very happy with it. Love the way it looks. I hope you can get a hold of one if that's what you want. This has been my video review for DX Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2002. Thanks for watching.